Good morning, brothers and sisters, boys and girls. I hope our good Creator is keeping you well and safe wherever you are in the world. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and share this everywhere that you can. Please share my videos on social media pages. We need to get the word out there. Now, there's reasons why I do this. I do this for the love of it. Okay, I love bringing information to people that don't know or are looking. I love bringing truth to truth seekers. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. Do I pretend to? No, absolutely not. I'm very open-minded these days after learning all of the lies that we've been indoctrinated with, and I've had to free my mind, so to speak, if you will. A little line from the Matrix, and, wise words of Yoda, unlearn what you have learned. Because they've poisoned us in school. It's part of the programming. Television programs are called TV programming. Those of us who are at least 30 and older, and I know it's kind of crazy to say this, but when the president would come on, we interrupt your program, we interrupt your regular program for the president of the United States, and the president would come on, and then afterwards, after he'd give a speech, and then afterwards he'd say, we now return you to your regular programming. They're programming our minds. They've been doing it. It's word plays. People think, oh, no, that's not what it says in the history books. Well, yeah, you're right. It's not what it says in the history books, because his story, think about this, history, his story, he who wins the war writes his story. So, now that we've got that out of the way, it's a play on words. We're talking about complete evil. I've got something to show you today. Watch this. Now, I'm going to show you this here. Now, we're looking here. This is today, this morning, 7:18 a.m. Now, watch right up out of this region. You're going to see something come down here, almost completely eclipse the sun. Then it turns, it kind of rotates on its axis, and then kind of goes out at a different angle. So it'll come in like at this angle, and then it goes out at this angle. And it almost eclipses the sun. Watch this. Hello, big thing. Ooh, here we go. Gets here, now watch. Here's where it rotates. But not there. There, see that? It rotates. See that? Rotating on its axis, and then goes back out the way it came in. Now, before anybody goes off and says, oh, that was like Mercury, or that was Venus, here are the planets today. Okay? Mercury is here, but however, Mercury is below the sun. Okay? It is down here. We don't see it. Okay? I have seen Mercury, and I have seen Venus completely pass in front of the surface of the sun, and Mercury is this teeny tiny little dot that you can barely even see. But I have seen it go in front, and it's a teeny little old guy. It does not eclipse like that. Venus, guess what? Doesn't fully eclipse the sun either. It's a planet about this size. Venus is. It's about this size when it actually goes across the surface of the sun. Okay, it's about this size. I've seen it here many times. I've been looking at this stuff for a while. In fact, when I first started doing this, I went back 6 years and was watching 6 years worth of video clips like this, and just watching, so I could get familiar and caught up and know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've seen it on this one. Now, what about this one? My favorite one. Oh yeah, absolutely. Now this one has a longer time lapse in between footage, in between clips. So you only get to see a little bit. See, it kind of shadows it there as it's coming. Yes, shadow, and then boop, and then gone. Okay? So we've got 2 there. Let's come here. Let's go to the 304. Hello. Let's see if it does its little rotation again. Almost eclipses, rotates, and then goes out another way. Now, for those of you who are still, oh no, that's not what that was. It's still a planet. Well, okay, let's say that you're right. Explain to me how a planet can come in, turn on its axis, and then go back out the way that it came. How does a planet just change directions on which way it wants to go around the sun? Can you answer me that? It can't. It just goes It goes one direction. Zoom. That's it. It'll go from left to right every single time. We have no planets that spin in the opposite direction of all of our other planets. They don't rotate around the sun in opposite directions. They all go in the same direction. So, what was it? So, here we are, 193 angstroms. Guess what? Same time frame, 718. Boop. Comes in, rotates, and goes out again. Well, let's check over here on the 94. Oh, there goes the shadow in front of the dish, or our satellite imagery. Look at this. Now you can still clearly see. You can still clearly see that things are going on, and then it's gone. So, what was that? Now this one has a longer time lapse as well. It's not as fine tuned as the other ones, but it's still there. In fact, if you look, you can see almost like it's hinged here, and it kind of just comes down here and then goes doop, and then it's gone. See that? Folks, that was a large craft. Very large. Or it was like right close to the Diggum satellite. One or the other. But it was huge, it was round, and it almost completely eclipsed the sun. Rotate and go out. Yeehaw on that, folks. So again, planetstoday.com. Let's move a day forward. Let's see oh, look at that. The planets are all moving in the same direction. Can't say it was the moon because that satellite is 1,000,000 miles closer to the sun. Our Earth or moon is only 250,000 miles closer to the sun or away from Earth. So that's 750,000 miles. Look at that. All the planets, they seem to go the same direction. Wow, they all rotate in the same direction. So, yep, it's not a planet. And planets don't do that. They can't do that. So, can anybody tell me? Folks, we need to start opening our eyes. And we need to start letting people know that stuff is going on. So, I do ask that you please hit that like button, share and subscribe. For those of you who are my regular followers, my channel is growing pretty decent. I'm very happy right now. My one video's got almost 3,000 views on Tonga, which is fantastic. Of course, there's a lot of comments in there. Also, to be aware, make sure that you're subscribed and keep checking. I've had 3 of my subs come back and tell me that YouTube is unsubscribing them. So if YouTube is unsubscribing my followers, I must be onto something. YouTube has no reason whatsoever to unsubscribe followers from people. And these are 3 people that have been following me for almost a year and absolutely love what I'm doing. They would not just leave. And all 3 have come back within the last 3 days saying, hey, YouTube has unsubscribed me. So if they're doing that, knowing that YouTube is part of the deeper forces at bay, then I'm on to something. And they don't want people seeing. Think about that, folks. Remember that love is the only way forward.